Hello, Internet, and thank you very much for tuning into the Cloud Native FM and Cloud Therapist YouTube show. This is an exclusive coverage of London Tech Week 2026. And this is day two coverage because day one, we already covered some wonderful debates with some very good companies. You can watch the stream later, or you can click on the link and see what we covered in the day zero one as well. And this is day zero two. And alongside with me, as usual, the one and only Richard Simon from Cloud Therapist. Richard, how's everything going?
Hey, hello, good afternoon, or I should say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you happen to be.
That's
I'm
very good.
actually in sunny London. Would you believe it's
Oh,
actually nice and sunny outside today?
is
Yeah,
I think
you can probably see some of the sun rays kind of coming into the hall here at Olympia.
absolutely we can definitely see this. Richard, the before we going any further, how many
Yeah.
steps you have taken already?
Well, yesterday I think I finished at around 8,700 steps.
Oh,
According to my watch so far, I have done 6,800 steps today. And that's because I actually walked a little bit further than usual. But yeah, that's that's how much I've done so far today. I've broken all the records. My fitness watch is happy with me, so I'm good with the world because my
uh,
fitness watch says I'm there in terms of my goals for the day today. So there you
have you
go.
have you broken the Excel record in the KubeCon London, or it's still being maintained?
Not a chance. Not a
Ah,
chance. No, because the Excel is much bigger. And when we do AWS Summit or KubeCon or whatever else we're covering there, those halls tend to be much bigger than Olympia. Olympia is a decent size for the exhibition, as you can
hmm.
actually see, but it's not always. It's not kind of the shows are not necessarily kind of taking up all this space, and it itself is physically not as big as the exhibition halls in the Excel. And certainly for events like KubeCon and AWS Summit, for example, those tend to kind of draw a lot bigger crowd anyway. So for those, they tend to have halls, maybe one or two halls, maybe even three halls sometimes. So yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And Richard, as well, let me speak because Richard is speaking about because these channels, Cloud Native FM and Cloud Therapies, your only shows where you can do an exclusive atmospheric event like what's happening in KubeCon London, AWS Summit London. We already covered these two big events. This is our
Yeah.
third, I guess, and another live stream of the year, and hopefully there's more in the near future as well. And also, this is the channel where you can actually get to know about cloud native, platform engineering, DevOps, Gen AI, SRE, you name it. This is the show to cover it up. And London Tech Week is a very new thing for us. We will be covering for the very first time. As I know, that when the Richard Evers tried to backpack and maintain and plan his trip, I say, "Oh, let's Richard do it." And thank you very much, Richard, for actually we're doing this again together. So, Richard, luckily we have some audience with us. As long, thank you very much again, Sabir Vakas, for joining us again on day zero two as well. And it would be great to see some audience tuning into our YouTube channel as well. So that's really nice to hear as well. So, Richard, I'm having a little bit a tougher time because I think the internet is a little bit of a shaggy. No worries, it happened, and I will do the more duties as well. So I will speak with you soon as the internet works best for you as well. So Richard, you can interrupt me anytime. Yes, you are now good. I can see you can actually hear it. So Richard, I'm just going through
Sure.
some of the little
Yeah.
bit
So
of the.
far, so good. So yeah, day one. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, over to you, Richard. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, I think day one was interesting. Just kind of just reflecting back a little bit on day one first. So um, the London Tech Week really is kind of focused on solutions that are already out there. So there's actually companies, down there that are essentially selling their products. If there's somebody selling AI agents, or there's somebody showing AI agents at their stand, they're actually selling them. So it's like a full AI SaaS, type of full sort of AI SaaS type of sort of environment, and the solutions are essentially out there already. So it's a really good, I think, gauge to see how many people are actually selling sort of AI solutions, how many people actually got AI solutions out there that are actually sold right, being sold right now, and you can actually go and buy them as an organization. They're quite varied in terms of kind of what they do. It's everything from sort of like an office assistant to HR platforms to sales and tracking platforms to CRM type of stuff. To development platforms, there's data platforms and so on. So they're all, kind of in different sort of environments, different types of solutions. However, they are all AI SaaS, readily available kind of products. They're actually out there products. Not, this is not a KubeCon, this is not an AWS where it's kind of open sourced, or, it's a new project that's just, being donated to the CNCF, and then the vendor turns up to, to do all the press and things like that. This is actually projects that are, up and running, and you can actually go and buy them as a solution if that's what you want to do. So I think that's the difference between sort of something like London Tech Week versus, AWS Summit or KubeCon and those types of events. And also, it's a lot wider in its scope as well. So it's not just necessarily AI. There's lots of governance. There's lots of sovereignty type of discussions. There's marketing discussions. There's HR discussions. There's, like I said, sales and CRM type discussions. So all of those are being both presented and also being exhibited in the showcase area as well. So the show's a lot wider than what we're kind of normally used to. Having said that, there is some nuggets of sort of companies that are actually working out there at the moment and exhibiting, and those have kind of shown some presence in Kubernetes. They've shown some presence in the open source space, but very few companies that are actually doing that at London Tech Week. That type of stuff is kind of more the realm of AWS Summit, KubeCon, Open Source Summit, and places like that. I don't know if you can hear me, so I will, let me just continue and give a shout out to somebody that I've been speaking to throughout the show. She's not necessarily associated with the show, but just somebody that I know and just want to say a shout out. So shout out to Gemma Donaldson, who's from Corn Ferry. They're a recruitment company in the UK, tech recruitment in the UK. She's one of the managing consultants at Corn Ferry. So shout out to Gemma on that. So I think the event that and the discussions that we had yesterday with some of the exhibitors were quite interesting. There was a number of sort of varied ones. I think we did about 5 or 6 interviews yesterday, and then we had the opportunity to be able to talk to those vendors and be able to have some discussions in regards to what they were exhibiting, what they were showing off, and things like that. So that was quite interesting, and also the types of, like I said, the types of sort of discussions that we were having were quite interesting, because the companies that we were discussing and talking to were are quite varied in terms of what they're doing. So it's kind of data. There were AI agent discussions, and there were other types of activities as well in some of the vendors that we spoke to. Now, we have a lot more to cover today, so hopefully Saim is going to make it back on at some point. I don't know if he's still around. Saim, I don't know if you can hear me at the moment, but we've got a person that we're going to do a quick review with actually quite shortly, so we can have a little conversation with them, and then we can talk to Saim back again when he's back online. We can have a conversation with him as well. But for now, let me see if I can actually switch the camera over, and then we can actually have a conversation with somebody who is joining me to do a quick review of the show, and then we'll see how we get on. So, guys, bear with me for a sec. Let me see if I can switch the camera and we can go for it. Okay, guys, I have Noah Santoni with me. Noah, good to see you. How you doing?
Hey, Richard, I'm good. How are you?
Well, as you can see, I'm live streaming right now. So welcome to the live stream. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to be here. It's a bit different to the last time I joined you in the session. I think the AI Summit and London Tech Week, they've got their own different flavors, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so many shows going on this week. I don't know what it is about this particular week, but there's so many events going on this week, right? AI Summit was the other one. Did you go to that or not?
No, I'm not going to the AI Summit. I'm just going to London Tech Week. I think AI Summit starts tomorrow, is it? Is it tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow, yeah.
Yep. And then I think from our side, I think we're just doubling down on probably London Tech Week. I'm back to our office and obviously work tomorrow, I'd say. It's really interesting. I think what I've noticed a lot more of is there's more, I'd say, government here, like different countries.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so I've had really good conversations with some companies out of the European Union Development Fund, out of, I want to say, Hungary. They're very open-minded, talkative, same as Romania. And then I've also noticed, obviously, there's a lot of AI.
There's lots of AI, right?
Yeah, I also listened into a few of the presentations, but I'm more curious, what do you think so far about it?
So, I mean, we were saying on the live stream yesterday, this is our first time doing London Tech Week. So the show is more focused on organizations that actually have a solution and they want to put it out there. It's not kind of open source. It's not, that nobody's appearing here because they just donated a project to the CNC of the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. There's no kind of AWS necessarily partner. There's a few, but it's not like a big AWS summit type of approach.
Yep.
And those sort of open source companies that maybe you and I are used to doing, and when we do the live streams, are not actually here. Yeah. So it's clearly a lot more focused on actual solutions. And the other thing is on the AI side, of course. If you have AI here, it's ready to go.
Exactly.
You can actually go and buy it and actually make use of it in your company, right?
Yeah, exactly. What I did see, I think, that got my attention the most were very specific solutions. One of them being forestry response management using AI. I felt like that was a very clear value-added perspective of how AI can help. Another one I saw was Honeypot, so for cybersecurity. There was one out of, I think I mentioned already, Hungary, from the EU Development Fund. And yeah, I think what they're doing there is quite exciting. I haven't really seen that. Maybe you've seen it more than I have, the whole honeypot concept with AI, where basically they pretend that they are a grandmother who, and then a scammer calls and then pretends to convince them to take the bank account details, and they capture all the scammer information, and then they package it all up, and then their goal is to sell the data onto banks and stuff, which I thought was quite a good idea.
Actually, it's kind of a reverse phishing scam.
Yeah, so reverse phishing, but more importantly, to then sell the data of how the scammers are doing things, which I thought was a different concept instead of a bounty program. I haven't seen that before, but maybe you've seen it.
Well, I mean, I've heard of them, so I kind of know what they're doing. The other thing that I spotted, I think yesterday, was that there was very little development kind of thing here. There's a few like Lovable are doing master classes and stuff like that. So that's kind of more maybe your area, vibe coding, which you're kind of into, right?
Yep.
And Ground Control, the company that you work for, is kind of one of the activities that you guys do, right? Excellent.
Yep.
So I did see a little bit of that, but obviously not as much, and clearly not as much detail, because again, I think the crowd here is not really that kind of techie crowd. It's kind of more the decision makers. I was saying to Saim yesterday, I think it's like 60+% are decision makers who are actually here. So the people actually make a decision on purchasing something, whether it's SaaS or some
Yep.
subscription, or whatever it is,
Yep.
versus maybe AWS Summit or KubeCon or one of the other events that we're maybe more used to, and those being more kind of technical. Kind of lead from the technical side, and then the business kind of solution comes in at some point, right? So that's kind of one of the other things that I spotted as well. And as I said, I mean, all of the not just the kind of the vibe coding or the coding side, but certainly any other type of platform, kind of an HR platform, enablement training platform, and so on. Yeah, they're all using AI now, and they can generate you a kind of an avatar to train your team, or if you're going to onboard people, stuff like that. That's all kind of available. But there's also a lot kind of around data, so kind of prepping, cleansing the data, whether it's kind of, for training or kind of real time during inference and stuff like that. Again, I noticed that we spoke to a couple of the guys, Prolific, I think was one of the companies down there.
Index as well.
That's actually.
Yep. I also saw Llama Index being here, which I thought was quite interesting. I feel like they're one of the leaders when it comes to, particularly before, they were one of the first movers in the RAG side, and now they're more focusing on document summarization with AI agents. I also noticed Black Box is here.
Yes, Black Box, we're going to try and go and have a chat with later.
And then also what I thought interesting was Clay being here. I believe probably Clay's here because...
Oh, what's Clay about?
Clay is a go-to-market enrichment aggregator, basically. So they aggregate all the enrichment platforms. So imagine if you want to buy some leads, you go to them, use their credits. If you want to, Apollo, if you want to find some outreach or some contacts, you use them, and so on and so forth. Also, Relevance AI being here, I found that interesting. They were also, back in the day, one of the first movers that I used to see who were properly doing AI agents in production. I think when I spoke to them, they said that the competition's got quite fierce. There's a French-based company, I want to say AI B2B agent or something, I forgot the name, they're competing against. But I think overall, it looks like it's a mix. It's a different, you are right, it's a very different audience to AWS.
The crowd is different, definitely.
Yeah, and I think it's probably to do with there being a price point to it, right?
Yeah, let's put it this way. You're not going to see many cloud solution architects down there, or DevOps engineers, or platform engineers, right?
No, you're not. I did see some decision makers from a lot of big companies. TikTok, I also saw Tesco. I also saw Zalando as well, weirdly enough. Carrefour was here earlier. So they are decision makers. But also at the same time, I saw a lot of VC funds. Because I think they are doing pitch days here today as well, and yesterday, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's in a nutshell what I've seen. But also from our side at Ground Control, our focus has been, trying to scale. So we are looking at partnerships actively. So we've had some really good conversations with that, and yeah, we're looking just to maybe in the future, maybe we'll have our own stand here.
Yeah. Excellent. So yeah, I mean, I think I think we're right, kind of in terms of the crowd being different. There's a lot more kind of people who are kind of interested in learning about sort of AI and things like that. So kind of getting sort of maybe like a free course or something, and some free education around AI, and attending all the talks. And there was also 6 tracks as well, as we said. There's kind of 6 different streams in terms of what's happening, and they're all focusing on on different things, and then bringing in experts anywhere from sales to marketing to tech to AI and so on as well as sort of local governments as well. I believe that the UK government has been representing as well. They've been here as well, announcing making various announcements as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of UK government, like a lot. I think last year, I want to say, similar this time, we were at a Canadian embassy event, and at the Canadian embassy, there were some people representing DCIT, Department for Science, I believe they're called, Department of Science and Trade, and they were saying how they really push, London Tech Week, and they're really positive about it. And so obviously they've got their own stands, but what I did find interesting was there's not really any cybersecurity companies here.
That's just well, I tell you what, I mean, I can see the AWS sign from here. I know Microsoft are sponsors, but is Microsoft here? Because I've not seen their stand.
I haven't seen them either. What I found interesting was how they positioned the startup side in the middle of both sides, right? So we've got 2 sides. We've got on one side, which is the speaking gig, the other side, the other speaking gig, and in the middle, we've got the runway, which is all the startups. So I found that good because then obviously you've got the footfall between the both sides, and people.
Yeah. And you got the startup alley, right? That's kind of that sort of side section to this main hall here, right?
Yeah, as the connector, exactly. But also, I mean, personally, I haven't really been here before. This is my first London Tech Week, so it's all new. But I also think it is fruitful, and you know, when it comes to business, some people have definitely flown in. You know, some European companies and some, you know, we also saw a representative from Washington DC as well. For the
There's a guy we met last time from Mexico.
Yes, we also saw a software development agency that flew in from Mexico. Exactly.
So that was at the after party, by the way. So I met Noah last night at the after party from the show, and we were having a beer and having a chat, and then somebody turned up who was from Mexico. What did you think of the after party, by the way?
I thought it was good. What would have been good is if there was like a freebie for some food or something.
That would have been nice, wouldn't it?
Even some like nibbles or something, people walking around.
That's true. And one of the complaints that we've been making, Saim, and well, I spotted and I was making it to Saim yesterday, was the fact there's not much swag down there. That's the other thing.
Yeah, weirdly enough, the main swag is coming from go-to-market companies. So Clay AI.
I sincerely hope so. They're in marketing.
So any commercial-based companies, they're giving out a lot of swag. Like there was one which was like an SMS company. So they specialize in doing outbound SMS for companies. And they were giving out this like pen. There's also a rubber. There's also a stylus for tap for any touch screen. And then Clay is giving out separate hats, cookies.
Fair enough. There's a few chocolates around and offer.
Yeah. I saw the delegation from Turkey. I did ask them for a Turkish tea yesterday. I got blocked. Wasn't allowed that. I was a bit sad about that. But then afterwards, they gave me some Turkish delight. So that was quite tasty.
So, yeah, because I saw that the London Tech Week swag, you actually had to queue up for it. And then you had to play a game and pick like a random something, whatever it was, like an orb. And then in the orb, there was a piece of paper. And the piece of paper told you what you won. So I was like, okay, that's a bit hard. I don't think I'm going to stand in that queue. I know I'm normally just used to like rocking up to the stand, grabbing a T-shirt and walking away. Yeah, and they're lucky if they can scan my badge.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's interesting. But at the same time, I feel like the location is really good because we're around the corner to Kensington. Some really great food spots here, you know, around the corner. And also,
the food is good, but getting here is really bad.
Yeah. I mean, I had 2 delays on trains to even get it from Clapham Junction. It was brutal. But I mean, Excel's not exactly a pure. I mean, yeah, it's got tube stations, but it's literally middle of nowhere. At least here we've got some places to go on.
It's easier on the Elizabeth line now, though.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But also, I thought it was quite weird that the after party was so far away from the venue. Do you not think?
That was a bit strange. Yes, I had to kind of traverse probably at 20 minutes or so, and then another 10-minute walk. So I decided to get off at Westminster and just walk across the bridge with Big Ben. So I took a quick photo of Big Ben with myself.
Yeah,
not gonna show you that, by the way. Or it might be in the show reel or something, the sizzle reel or something later.
Yeah,
I might do.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the other thing I've noticed is there is a lot more people that are, I want to say, open-minded and wanting to chat compared to the AI.
Oh, really?
I think so. Compared to the AWS summit, but at the same time, I'm saying people walking past. I don't mean people at the stands who are exhibiting. But from an exhibitor's perspective, I think we had a small chat about it yesterday, and they definitely are very salesy. A lot more salesy, I think.
Well, they would be, like I said, yeah, because they're trying to sell their stuff, right? Although I did get quite a few no's yesterday when I asked them if they wanted to do a quick interview. So that did actually happen. But I mean, I think it's a lot more. It's a wider event. It's not kind of that very focused, cloud and open source and cloud native type of thing. It's not AWS summits are led clearly by AWS and their partners and so on. It's a lot more of a wider event. We've got international companies here trying to do business. We've got India, Pakistan, Malta, there's also, Tunisia, Indonesia, Philippines. Everybody's here pretty much. I think it said like 150 plus countries were represented. So clearly it's a lot sort of wider than your average tech type of event. But it's I think this is needed for the wider audience, for the influencers and the deciders within organizations to come and see the actual solutions, actually see them working. Yes, this is one you can buy right, today, Mr. Customer, if that's what you want to do. I think that's kind of what it's aimed at, really. And obviously, it's an outlet for the trustees and the charities, as well as the government, to make the odd announcement as well, and maybe wheel on, Jensen Huang or somebody like that from NVIDIA to make the announcements.
And don't forget that the London bus is also that's here is powered by BYD.
Yeah, so it's like so there's that kind of solution as well, which is quite interesting. So yeah. Anyway, okay, so I think we're pretty much there. We're going to let Noah go. Noah, I will catch you after the live stream because we've got some more talking to do, maybe some dinner as well. But yeah, appreciate your time. Thanks very much.
Thank you for your time as always, Richard, and thanks everyone in the crowd for listening in.
Thank you. I'll see you later. All right, take care. All right, Saim. So that was our quick review with the fantastic Noah from Ground Control. Check them out, groundcontrol.ai, I think, or .io. I think Saim will find the link and put it up for you. But yeah, really interesting. I think Noah kind of pretty much had the same sort of perspective on most things that I've really had in terms of the event. So yeah, we'll see how it goes today with the showcase crawl. Our infamous showcase crawl. We're going to kick off on that fairly shortly, let's see if we can tick off the rest of those vendors that we said we were going to go and visit today and say hello to.
Oh yes, absolutely. I think it's nice to see once again Noah. Noah is a usual guest of these live streams. I think we met him on the AWS Summit London as well, and I really believe the ground control is very, very wonderful. I think we definitely keep our eye out on it, what the things have been developing on that front as well. So thank you very much for covering, Richard, for all of the details. There is just a little bit of few things I need to add here, and then let's go straight to exhibitor, and we can see some demos, some conversation, and everything actually jumps up toward us as well. So I think you're talking about
Saim, sorry to interrupt you. So while you're doing that, I'm gonna change my configuration, as they say, and then walk downstairs so that we can. I'll be ready so that we can have a conversation and start doing some interviews. But go ahead with the news items, and I will do that in the meantime.
Oh, okay, absolutely. So here are some news from the London Tech Week, and I will grab the link. And I think people are thinking about what the event we're talking about for the last 30 minutes. If you're just joining and tuning into this YouTube channel, this is the show. This is the show we're talking about. LondonTechWeek.com is happening. It's day 2 of London Tech Week. I think it's been there for one more day, I believe, and then it's actually be off. But let's hear some news to cover. From the day 01, it's happening. The London Tech Week 2026 runs from 8 to 12 June at Olympia and across London. And this event brings together more than 30,000 plus tech leaders, founders, decision maker, and 130 plus countries. That's a big sort of the event. So the biggest headline we see from the day 01 is that Prime Minister Keir Starmer opened London Tech Week 2026 and framed AI as a hopeful economic opportunity for the UK, while also stressing that tech companies must do more to protect users. He also announced a new AI job tool and committed over £400 million toward specialized AI chips and sovereign computing capabilities. So these are the big news if you happen to be the citizen of the UK, because that's grab some news. So Richard, while you're talking, you are going down the floor. There's some news there's some other thing. The Gen AI and AI theme that kept coming up during the London Tech Week. The agenda shows, the first day of the agenda shows, the conversation has moved beyond AI hype into a practical adoption. Investing in AI, enterprise AI readiness, safe and ethical AI, open source, and enterprise agentic AI were all on the AI agenda schedule. And that's a strong signal considering that Gen AI is being discussed as an operating model issue, not just a product demo topic. I'm actually dedicated some time today and yesterday on the website because I'm actually covering from the very far away from this world. So I actually discovered what the platform engineering is being talking about in this live stream in this London Tech Week. So on the exhibitor floor, the platform and infrastructure story was visible in companies' positioning. Tempers describe itself as an AI native digital engineering partner, turning AI experiment into a business outcome, while 2i Limited highlighted its software development and DevOps. That's a good proxy for where platform engineering is showing up at London Tech Week delivery, automation, and operational residence. And yesterday we actually gone into down to the floor and we actually covered some of the startup there. So Richard, you are finally on the exhibitor floor, and I'm actually heading back to you. If you find someone, it's your time to tell me like if you go there. And while you're going there, I can still cover some news. But luckily, I think we try to find out some of the exhibitor. Yesterday we cover our stream lock.ai. I really find interesting in their solution. We go there to the Indus Valley Lab, Pakistan, but unfortunately, there's nothing. Nobody's there yesterday. We hopefully will try to meet them again today as well. Delight, we were able to speak. I think we were able to speak with Dell yesterday, and they've been speaking about some of the AI initiative they have been running, and I think there's some AI at the edge. It's been a big thing these days. Analytics intelligence, we speak yesterday, and I think I really like about some of the approach they have been doing for some of the HR and the automation workflow there as well. We also tried to go into the digital ocean, but haven't find them anyone. But today we try to see what are some of the things to cover there as well. So, Richard, can you still hear me? And I think I can tell you where are some points you actually should visit.
Yes. Yeah, I'm actually at Cube Canvas, Saim. So we're ready to do an interview. If you're okay for now.
Absolutely. And say hi from my side as well, Richard. Over to you now.
Okay, we'll do. All right. So would you mind standing there for me? Okay. Am I interviewing you or this lady here? Okay. All right. Hi. Okay. So we're just going to, if you can just do like an intro to yourself, please, and then intro to Cube Canvas as well. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Shamaila and I am representing today Cube Canvas. This is our startup. Basically, we have developed an editor for Kubernetes developers. Basically, it is for all of the software developers and DevOps guys who are working on Kubernetes. So this is where it helps them automatically write the code, have the AI integrated, and create releases, manage them, and monitor them. So this is what we are doing.
So what kind of challenges are you kind of fixing for customers? What sort of challenges is your platform helping customers with?
Any company who is developing and deploying the software, and of course each software development has their own challenges. When they deploy in Kubernetes, the code is not very developer friendly and debugging is not easy. User have to hop through different tools. This is where we are working. We are making it easy and making use of artificial intelligence safe and secure for the developers, for especially the Kubernetes developers.
Excellent. Okay. And what has customers kind of been telling you when they've come up to you today or yesterday? What sort of challenges are they facing in terms of AI, or even just kind of developing or deploying Kubernetes into production? Just kind of give us an idea of some of the discussions you've had.
So the pattern is extremely common where developers are developing something and teams are deploying, usually platform teams are deploying, and there is not so much harmony. Things are broken. DevOps thinks it is developers, developer thinks it is DevOps. So they are working in silos, so we have broken those silos, so bringing them together on one platform. And then another challenge that companies face is when their developers involve AI. Sometimes, in your haste, you just copy paste your code which contains sensitive information like username and password, your database username and password. In Kubernetes world, it can be secret. So you are exposing unknowingly. So this is also what we are fixing. Another big problem is the usage of tokens. Developers usually, find it difficult to explain their problem to the AI, and this is why a lot of tokens are consumed, waste of money. So we have created a platform where to solve a problem, you don't actually need to write the prompt. You have the context, so AI gets the context, gets the error message, and fixes it for you.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, I wish you very much success. Thanks very much for your time today. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Okay, Saim, that was the one that you wanted.
Um,
Done
that's a
that.
wish. Yes, and
Yeah.
that's a wish list from our 2 days comments on the YouTube section. I think Sabir is happy with today because he's stressing us a lot to
Right.
go there. So it's super nice to
Okay.
see
Cool.
Kubernetes being there in some of the events. So I think wherever you go, you still find people from the Kubernetes world.
You still find one or two people still talking about Kubernetes, which is amazing. Yes.
Absolutely.
Even at a show as salesy as this one, you're still finding Kubernetes here. But yeah, as we said, I think as we said yesterday, you have to try a little bit harder to try and find it though. It's not as easy to find around here.
Good. So Richard, here's some list for you as well. And
Yeah, go ahead.
So here's a list. You need to find out black box AI first.
Yes. I will. I think I know where they are. I'm kind of almost got it committed to memory now. The map. So I'm going to head there. We actually did analytics intelligence yesterday, which was quite good. I think 10 Pearls is not showcasing, so I will try and check and see if they're around. Black boxes near here, so I'm going to try and head in that direction and see if I can actually find them.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll do that as well. Deloitte was busy yesterday, so I couldn't talk to them. Digital Ocean, I've not seen them either, so I think they're not attending or they're just sponsoring. As we said yesterday, I think some of the people on the list are actually just sponsoring; they're not doing anything else. So that's interesting. But anyway, I think somebody recommended Dust. I think somebody did recommend Dust, so I might actually have a chat with them. Or was it Clay? It was Clay. Go to market infrastructure. Okay, no, I'm not going to do that one. Okay. Oh, look at this. Black box, and
you are on.
There's nobody here.
Oh, good.
I'm not getting very much luck with black box, I have to say. There's nobody on the stand. I don't know where they are.
You
look,
can do this.
It's a completely let me show you.
I think it's
Look,
a black
completely
box
empty stand.
I think this is my
They've disappeared into a black box or something. I don't know.
This might be by design. They are invisible people looking at us.
Oh, well, the food isn't invisible. I can see the food.
The food
I might steal their food from them because I'm quite hungry. I've not had any lunch today.
They might be in some other parallel universe there, attending another event at the same time.
Well, it's kind of black box, or is that kind of black hole? Maybe, I don't know. That could be the parallel universe, the black hole. I did actually speak to them earlier, and I said, if you guys are around, I'd like to come and see you for an interview, and they said yes. Yeah, they did say they were happy to do the interview because I did speak to them earlier.
Is there something?
But they're just clearly not here at the moment.
We can join them later back again. I think you just need to memorize the place
where
you are now. So on our list of agenda, Richard, I think we can try out, but that's a bigger wish for me. but I still can say
Yeah.
AWS.
Well,
AWS.
Dust is on the list. Dust is on the
Oh,
list. So let me. I think I just went past them. So let me see what if Dust is up for a quick conversation, because I think I
that
just went past Dust. So let me see if I can have a quick chat. Yeah. Just bear with me. Let me see if I can find them again. Did I not go past them here? Hold on. I'm sure I did. That was Clay. No. Okay, they're not here. So let me see if I can find them now, because I have the app. Although I'm doing this with one hand, so it's quite tricky. Let
Oh,
me see.
good.
Dust, dust, dust. Here we go. Okay, let me see where they are. They're next to Prolifics. Where am I? I'm the core stage. Next to the okay, next to the Hungarian. Where's the entrance? Entrance is there. Dust is okay, next to Prolific. Okay, that kind of narrows it down. As you can see, dear audience, we are doing this. This is very much a live stream because I'm actually doing this as we're talking, and see if we can find HubSpot. Okay, so they're near HubSpot. If I can find HubSpot, then I found them. Hold on a sec. I can use HubSpot. Oh, there we go. Look, there's HubSpot. Okay, which means they are. If I walk down here, by magic, there's Dust. Way. There you go. Just found them.
Okay,
All
good.
right. So let me see. Yeah, let me see if anybody's available for a conversation. Just bear with me for a sec.
Okay, Richard. Okay.
Okay, Saim, Dust, somewhat begrudgingly, have agreed to actually do an
Okay.
interview with us.
That's
So
a
I
very
have with me
It's Naila.
Naila. Okay, so we have Naila with me, and she's going to do a quick intro to Dust, and then we're going to have a chat a little bit more about AI and other crazy things that are happening in the industry. Naila, welcome. Just give a quick intro to yourself and then to Dust as well, please.
Sure. So I'm part of the go-to-market team at Dust, and we're leading right now expansion to the UK, hence our presence to London Tech Week. So we're at the same time doing a little bit of sales, doing a little bit of marketing. That's me in a nutshell.
Excellent. And what does Dust do? Where do you guys position yourselves?
Yes, so we are the multiplayer AI agent platform. So what does it mean? Multiplayer is that it's an AI platform that allows any collaborator in a company to build, share, and edit agents throughout the workspace. So be it someone that's more technical or less technical, it doesn't really matter because everything is a natural language. So yeah, you don't need to code to build agents, and you can just share them within your team to make your team more productive on different types of use cases. So customer success, engineering, product, marketing, you name them. So yeah, that's kind of what it is.
Okay, so give us some examples of kind of the AI agents that your platform can spawn.
That's pretty various. We work with different types of industries and different types of teams as well within companies. So it's very various, but we work a lot with B2B SaaS companies. Let's say, I don't know, it could be a customer success agent that helps, just get context on a different, pulling out knowledge from your call transcripts, from your emails, from your Slack channels that give you a kind of an overview of a customer, and your agent is going to be able to help you out handle, I don't know, questions, technical problems, whatever. So yeah, that's kind of what it does. It pulls knowledge from different sources and allows you and anyone from the team to have access to this knowledge.
Okay, and is it mainly a SaaS solution? Is that kind of what you guys offer?
Exactly. Yes, it's a software as a service.
Okay, and I mean, not many people are running AI agents yet in production and things like that. So how are you guys kind of ensuring things like security for the AI agents, ensuring things like governance for the AI agents? How does that how do you fit that into an enterprise's sort of policy and things like that?
That's a very good question, and I think that's something that really matters to us, especially me, European. We're GDPR compliant, ISO compliant as well. So these are all certifications that we work towards just to make sure that everything is secure. And natively within Dust, the architecture is secure by design because you have the ability to create spaces and restricted spaces, so open and restricted, so that not everyone in the team is able to build and just share agents. So and do not have access to the same kind of data. You always have sensitive data that you don't want your agents to have access to, so this is possible. And yeah, I think like the question on just governance in general, you have the ability to create audit trails just to show which agent has access to what and how to store them, where they like who's using it and everything. So we're doing those kind of checks for people just to have a governed platform for their agents.
Okay, and what kind of challenges have customers been talking to you about the show? Give us kind of some examples of the conversations that you've had, and how is that kind of fixing those problems?
Oh, that's a good question. I think the most like the first one is on the collaboration side. It's really about a change management process. Like you don't want just to deploy AI and have a checklist of okay, we have AI in the company, that's perfect. No, you really want to measure success, see that it's not just your individual use case that's getting more productive, but your teams. So it's like, does this agent make your team better or does it make you better? So that's kind of the things that we want to address with our customers and make sure that they understood this is the value added behind it. So yeah.
Excellent. And any idea why you called Dust?
Ooh, what do you think? Why would you think we're called Dust?
I don't know why you guys called Dust.
So there's a legend. We're not really sure, but apparently it comes from the song, the Queen's song, Another One Bites the Dust. So yeah, there's kind of an inside joke inside the company that's coming from that. We're not exactly sure if it's true or not, but we'll figure it out.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, well, Nadav, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Let me just catch your badge, make sure that we have your name. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Take care. All right, so that's to our clearly fans of Queen. So there we go.
I seem very resonate, like Richard. I think we see,
Yeah.
and I'm actually having a very difficult time. What the thing behind the name Dust is, and they said this is interesting.
Yeah,
Richard, can
so
you
I
go
mean, they're clearly spawning sort of agents for different types of activities that the business will do. So it's not just kind of technical agents like we've seen with things like AI agent SREs and stuff like that, but they're also doing agents that are going to do just normal jobs, basically, whether it's in marketing or sales or finance or law, legal or whatever the in HR, whatever it is. That's essentially what they're doing. So yeah,
I seem to have a joke like
go on.
whatever the vocabulary is in the ID, there is a associated agent exists and might be will exist in the next 10 days in a decade times from now. Like if you look about agent added, you talk about agent, let's say we're talking about we're talking a lot about agent orchestration itself, because
Yeah,
this proliferation of agent is getting a same kind of a vibe what we do in a cloud native space as well. As everybody spinning up their own kind of a built-in environment for their customers and making it an open source project, and now people pushing it for the agent are saying like there's so many of them as well. So I,
sorry,
I,
sorry, I got carried away there. Yeah, sorry, go on.
yes, absolutely.
Just admiring the view, as they say. Okay.
What is booth is it? What is this red booth, Richard? I just
Oh,
spotted. No, in
yeah.
front of
Next one on my list is Iris II. So let me have a quick chat with them and see if they're actually up for a quick conversation. Just hold on, please.
sure. Well, Richard has actually been trying to find some prospect to talk us. We can talk with. If you have any usual prospect that you want us to cover in the live stream, please put them in the comment section, and I will ask my Richard to go there and we can have some debate on some of the product and solutions they have been developing.
I'm just asking Iris AI if they're going to have a conversation because they were on our list, Saim. So just bear with me for a sec. So Iris AI are saying the person that I need to speak to is not on the stand at the moment. So I will try and circle back to them in a moment. But in the meantime, let me see if I can find the next one. Oh, look, there's a free seat. Wow. Let me see. Oh, somebody's left me some cookies. Oh, thank you guys. Appreciate that. Let me have a quick seat next to the British phone box, our infamous or famous British phone box. They seem to have a replica of it here in the at the conference. So let me see, Saim, who is next on our list. Again, I'm having to do this with
While
one
you're
hand.
actually doing the show crawl, if you find out again if the black box AI is there, we can actually come back again.
Right.
But from the
So
other list,
yeah, the one I found, Saim, is Scrut automation. So yeah, they were talking about compliance and things like that. So I'm kind of interested to see what they've got to say. Let me see if I can actually find them on the map. Doing another search for Scrut.
Scrut automation is also on our list.
Yes. Okay, they're on the far end, so that should be easy to find. Let me see where I am in relationship to them. So where is my wonderful hotspot? Hotspot's become my home location. I'm finding everybody thanks to Hotspot. Okay, so I'm in that one. Iris. If I go down, oh, right down this corridor. Here we go. Okay, I got it.
Did you find the way where you?
I found where they are, so I'm going to head down to Scrut Automation.
Absolutely great.
Yeah, here we go. Walking past some very tall ladies there. Sorry, I can help that. Okay. Oh, here we go. Scrut Automation. Fabulous.
Good. You find them. Good.
I have found them. They're right here. Let me see now if anybody's available for a conversation. Just hold on, please.
Okay, sure. Friends, bear with us. We have the Scrut automation booth. Who will turn up for our conversation today. It's nice to see what's the cybersecurity automation tool have been developing in the presence of AI. You know, the compliance regulations and security controls are rising.
Okay, Saim, we have Thomas Miller, who is ready to have a chat with us in regards to Scrut Automation. So, Thomas, thank you very much for agreeing to do the interview. Just a quick intro to Scrut Automation first, please, and then what you guys kind of do. Maybe an intro to you as well, please. Thank you.
Yeah, sounds good. So Scrut Automation, we're a compliance management platform. The goal is to help startups become compliant with certain information security and data privacy regulations. So we help basically start to finish, building documents, integrating with infrastructure to monitor configuration settings, and ultimately getting companies compliant with laws and getting certified for certain frameworks to help them win more business and enter new markets.
Okay, so is it kind of fair to say that it's in that sort of policy and sort of governance space? Do you guys kind of operate in that?
Yes, we cover that. That's not the entire thing, though. So policies is obviously policies, procedures, documentation. It's a big part of compliance, but it's not the whole thing. So there's also some technological monitoring going on, activity management, training, a whole bunch of other stuff.
Okay, so how does how would a sort of an enterprise integrate your platform? Is it a SaaS platform? How does it kind of work?
So it is a SaaS platform. Think of us as a services enhanced SaaS product. So you've got the SaaS solution that we built, integrates with your cloud infrastructure, ticketing systems, HR systems, version control, basically the whole stack. A lot of that is for access management, but it ties into basically everything within your organization. And then we have standalone elements of the platform like a policy manager, training tool, a whole bunch of other stuff. And ultimately an audit center where certifiers can come in, issue certifications, do their tests, all inside.
Okay, so kind of just talk me through like a typical sort of scenario of how your sort of platform is really helping customers.
Yeah, so let's pretend I'm a new startup and I've got a health tech product and I need to comply with certain laws. Maybe I want to go into a new market, I want to sell in the UK or the US. So you hire Scrut, we come in, we conduct a gap analysis of your policies and procedures first and foremost, your cloud infrastructure configurations and some other technical tests. Do you have backups enabled? Do you have this and that? Help you remediate those. Conduct an internal assessment. We have a penetration testing team as well. And then we connect an external auditor in some cases to issue certificates against any of these frameworks that you see on the wall behind me here.
Excellent. And is the how do you kind of integrate with other platforms? So let's say the customer's in a public cloud, for example, and they're clearly kind of using the security platforms that are available on that cloud provider. How does kind of Scrut Automation kind of integrate with that to kind of effectively use the same workflows?
Yeah, so it's a little bit superficial in the sense that we do what we call tests. So I'll tie into AWS. And within the areas of AWS that you're using, the products within AWS that you're using, we'll look at basic, what they call the CIS benchmarks. So do you have encryption turned on appropriately? Do you have backups enabled? Do you have MFA, certain access controls within the cloud? And the same is true for all other apps, not just the cloud. So it's a read-only configuration check. And a lot of these regulations require periodic proofs, let's say. So do you have backups enabled? Yes. How often are you doing the backups? Weekly. Do you have proofs of those backups being conducted? That's the information that we gather. So it's not actually that deep of an integration. It's just kind of a configuration check every 24 hours across the entire surface of the infrastructure, if that makes sense.
Right. And just at the show, what kind of discussions have you been having with customers? What are some of the challenges that they've been kind of talking to you about? Anything around digital sovereignty, security, AI agents, things like that?
Yeah, a lot of questions about AI and how compliance will change because of that. Still kind of a moving target. So you've got the EU AI Act is one thing. You've got ISO 42001 as a certificate that people are needing to pursue or get certified for to win business. I would say the most common conversation that we've had here is basically what I said at the beginning, right? Startup needs to get one of these SOC 2 compliant to win a deal, or they know they're going into the US or Canada, so they need this certification or that one. They don't know where to start. The team's too small to hire compliance or security people. They could do it themselves. And as a matter of fact, 4 or 5 years ago, before these automation tools came into play, people were doing it themselves. Disparate systems, extremely inefficient. And that's the conversation, right? How can you help me get to this goal, low cost, high speed? A lot of these companies, these startups are not super well funded. Some of them are even bootstrapped. So they're trying to find better, more efficient ways to hit their goals and maintain this compliance over time. So that's the conversation I've had.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, Thomas, I appreciate your time. Thanks a lot. Take it. Thanks a lot. Okay, so that was Scrut Automation, guys. Lots of compliance stuff. As you can see, they've listed out things like NIS2, ISO, SOC 2, etc. So they clearly help customers especially kind of startups, to get into another market very quickly, which is actually quite good because coming into Europe is not exactly easy these days, especially with a lot of the kind of focus on things like digital sovereignty and so on. So anybody kind of trying to break into these markets, make sure, or existing companies who kind of have AI agents or want to have AI agents and so on. It's kind of how do you really ensure that that's actually working and it's actually operating in terms of the way that you want. That's all kind of part of it. So yeah, interesting company to talk to. Now,
Yes.
obviously, clearly, Saim, this is the kind of the GUI version, the UI version of Kyverno, essentially.
Absolutely.
It's kind of all that policy, it's governance and things like that. And obviously, if you want to do that as code, policy as code, then you'd have to go to something like Kyverno to do that. You're not going to get that into the show.
And I think that I really like the approach because I think the SOC 2 compliance, the HIPAA compliance, and a bunch of the other frameworks out there, they really required a really critical workload. And sometimes it took more than a year for you to actually become that kind of a compliant tool for that. And I think if some tools like these are really relevant because that's the requirement for before grabbing any customer. I was saying to you, are you the HIPAA compliant or the compliant or some other tools compliant that are able to find out? So tools like Strut
Yeah.
Automation, I think really shorten your loop to be those compliant tool. And I think we speak about a lot, Richard, Gen AI observability and policy enforcement in general. So I think another confirmation here is that now schools are
Yes.
slowly developing in that niche area. We now in agent is not just for writing code, writing a little bit of a documentation. There's more
Yeah.
experiment and they're more adopted in different side of a spectrum where we've typically for a few years now, like back then, we are a little bit afraid of doing this kind of experiment.
Yeah.
Now we actually be brave enough that solution have been developed in a global front.
Cool. Well, I'm just following the lady from Iris AI. So
Okay.
she's going to bring me to somebody I'm going to be able to speak to.
Sure.
And then, yeah, let's do a quick interview with Iris AI and see what they're doing. How you doing?
Good, good, good. I'm Stephen Fong, Chief Commercial Officer from Iris.ai. Yeah.
Thank you. So just a quick intro to Iris AI and what you guys actually do.
Essentially, we are providing context for large language model to an agent to reason on. And predominantly what we do is we are able to extract context from any type of data sources within enterprise organizations. So imagine if Google is indexing the internet, we could index the entire infrastructure environment of any type of data sources, systems, and structured data, and understand the context. And that's basically what we do. We provide that middle layer for models to reason on.
Right. And where is that actually used? Is that used for training the models? Is that kind of for RAG techniques or fine tuning?
It's for models to reason on. So we have our own tuning itself, or we getting the data to be ready for RAG systems, for models to use on, for agents to understand. Because when agents, one agent is fine, but when you have 10, 20 agents, it gets complex, right? Data accuracy, PII, the governance and traceability. So we're providing that, embedding the data, the knowledge layer where models could actually reason on. Yeah.
Fantastic. And what's kind of the some of the challenges that you've had conversations with at the show from customers that have been talking to you? What kind of challenges they've been kind of bringing to you?
Well, one of the biggest challenge that we're solving, and customers also telling us that they want to use AI, right? But the biggest problem is that they don't have the right data governance and the right data structure that they could consume. Because when you talk about semantic knowledge of the business, is a combinations of the semantic of could be from R&D, could be from finance and marketing, but all these different systems and data is across different locations. So their biggest problem is that they want to be ambitious and leverage AI capability, but they don't have the right data context. And that's why many of the customers that we've been talking to, they cannot adapt AI quickly enough because they don't have the data together, and that's exactly the problem that we're helping to solve for. Yeah.
Right. And how do you guys kind of integrate with a customer's existing environment? So let's say they are in the data center or they're in the cloud. How does kind of your platform fit in with that?
Well, we have a very flexible deployment effort. We method. We could deploy it at their own private cloud, their own VPC, or could be our own cloud where you also have our software sitting on AWS. Or some of our customers, hey, they want to be on premise, which is fine. We could install our software on the on premise, and then they could extract. And then because the main reason is that we want our agent to be sitting closer to the data, right, as close as possible. So we have a very flexible deployment method, and especially that we work with a lot of regulatory industry from manufacturing, pharma, telco, banking. They want to make sure that we follow the right compliance and security, and that's why deploying in the environment is the best choice to use. Yeah.
Okay, so general question. This discussion is a lot about inference, and kind of we're in this sort of the age of inference now. So everybody's kind of moved on from proof of concept, proof of value, and I think that was kind of maybe the first 24 months of the life of AI and so on. So where do you see kind of inference? You kind of mentioned data center and private clouds and things like that, but do you increasingly seeing it kind of at the edge, a kind of an edge AI? Is that kind of a solution that you're seeing from customers, or are they asking you about that?
Well, inferencing, we actually have a different way to think about inferencing because we actually have our own what we call proprietary metrics to manage mechanistic inference. Basically, the process of understanding the logic of how each models behave. The same reason why many regulatory customers we work with, because we help them to extract and streamline all the data collection, what data goes into the model, and also giving them absolute control of what comes out. Up to 97 to 100% accuracy, and that's something beyond LLM as a judge. Because as a judge is using another subjective thing to measure another subjective. We actually have a mathematical formula to understand the actual, the output at the inferencing level, where the model is actually using the own parametric knowledge compared to the context you give it. That's why we're able to get very high accuracy based on many of the customers as well. I don't know if that's your question, but at least that's how, when you talk about inferencing, that's how I think about inferencing. That's why the other uniqueness of what we do is, besides getting all this data ready, is actually controlling the output of the data. So that actually giving the power of these companies to leverage capabilities such as AI. Yeah.
Fantastic. Ken, thank you much for your time. It's been really interesting to learn about what you guys are doing. Wish you much continued success.
No, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Thank you. All right. So that was Iris AI, guys. Interesting stuff. Notice how the language there was all flowing very well there. So, RAG techniques, fine tuning, inferencing, and so on. Hey, I've picked up the lingo, Saim. I know everything now.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, that was an interesting conversation. It was just kind of, oh look, I can talk the language now, and people understand what I'm saying.
Oh, I think if you look at the Iris, and when you speak, the things I learned from the Iris.ai is like this notion of being actually like, I think I like the approach of what we're discussing. The data will be closer to the agent be running on as well, and I think a lot of the company is not ready. They say yes, we are AI, but absolutely he's right. Like their data and their structuring is not actually being ready for AI development. Right? It's great to see the tools like these are actually been popping them and developing as well. And I think it also hit the point, like we need to know where the agent has been running, who is controlling them. Is that once again the layer of agent orchestration is in the mix. I think this become a very important topic.
I agree. And I do agree with that. And I think, like I said, is as they said, I think as Ken Fung said from RSA, everybody wants to do it, but it's like, how do you get into that? How do you start? Where do you start? And people don't want to necessarily do something and then mess it up or screw it up, or it's not done properly. So they just wasted hundreds of thousands of pounds, if not millions, doing a
Yes.
project, and then something else comes along and says, no, that's how you did it last week. Now this week we do it this other way, and you kind of go, oh, I just wasted all this money, implementing it because this vendor was saying to me this is the way to do it, and that's no longer the case. So so I think it's kind of, people want to know, but it's difficult.
Or did I lose Richard? Oh, I think he is having a little bit of interruption.
Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me?
You are back. You just lost.
Okay. Yeah.
You are now back
Yeah.
again.
I'm just heading into Copilot's kit. So I don't know if anybody's here. Let me see if I can talk to somebody. If somebody's available from Copilot kit, just bear with me for a second. Managed to get hold of somebody from Copilot Kit. They were the guys who, I think, the only ones who had the word open source on their stand, which is amazing. So I'm here with Eli Berman. How you doing, Eli?
Amazing. Yeah, it's been an amazing 2 days so far. How are you?
Are you guys staying for the rest of the event, or what's kind of your plans?
We will be here all week. I think until tomorrow. Me and Sophia, our head of partnerships, is also here. We're at a bunch of events here in London. We're going to a LangChain event tonight. We have a hackathon this Saturday with Google. It's going to be really, really cool. So yeah, if someone's watching this, come join. It's going to be awesome.
Fantastic. So give us a little bit of background on Copilot Kit. What do you guys do?
Yeah, so Copilot Kit is the front-end stack for agents. So in the last 2 years, most of the AI community was actually focusing on the agentic backends, but we kind of took a bet 2 years ago and started building out the agentic front end. So everything you need in order to bring your agent into a full stack application and give it generative UI, human in the loop, shared state, all of these things that you need in order to create like a really interactive and generative AI experience.
Right, fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I've interviewed LangGraph, the guys from LangGraph in the past. Llama Index, we've had conversations with, and so on, and Crew AI and so on. You got all these guys listed on.
This is outdated too.
Yeah, there's a lot more on there. Yes. Yeah.
Our AGUI protocol has been adopted by all the top agent frameworks, from including Google, Microsoft, AWS, Oracle, and the rest of the agent frameworks here. And AGUI means Agent User Interaction Protocol, and it standardizes how agents communicate with your front ends. So just how like MCP standardizes how agents communicate with tools, A2A how agents communicate with agents, AGUI has become the standard protocol for how agents communicate with our front ends.
Right, so you're kind of doing the MCP sort of front end equivalent, what they do kind of in the back end with their integration.
Yeah, pretty much. So AGUI is the protocol behind Copilot Kit, and Copilot Kit gives you all of that the front end, chat UI, threads, voice, multimodality, all those things that you need. Chat UI, I'm not sure if I mentioned that. So yeah, AGUI is the protocol behind it, and they're both open source. You can build with AGUI if you want to connect some backend agent to a new front end client, then you can do that. Small little anecdote: someone who recently joined the team about 1.5 years ago. We met him at one of the hackathons, and he had built, he had connected his smart glasses via AGUI to an agent. So it was a very cool use of connecting the agent to some front-end client.
Right, cool. So clearly you have an open source version of your product. What kind of, how can people get hold of that?
Yeah, so you can go see our GitHub, find it at Copilot Kit. You can also look at our website, copilotkit.ai. Actually, we're massive, like most of our stuff, almost everything is open source. You can build really like Claude-like and Cursor-like agentic experiences with all of our open source. And we do have an enterprise platform that really takes it to the next level. Like, for example, you can get self-learning for your agents, analytics, persistent threads, but only on our open source. You can build so much actually tons of companies, tons of huge companies are building solely with our open source and in production applications as well. So
fantastic. You mentioned the hackathon this weekend with Google. Is that easily searchable? Have you guys put out any LinkedIn posts on it? Maybe it's kind of for people to find it easily.
Yeah, so you can first of all go to our Luma calendar. You'll find the event there. And yeah, you can find us on LinkedIn at Copilot Kit and also on Twitter, Copilot Kit. We're very active. We're posting all the time, high quality content for devs. So yeah, follow us, check us out. And yeah, looking forward to seeing everyone there at the event.
Fantastic. Eli, I appreciate your time. Thanks very much. You can carry on packing now. Take care. Thank you. All right. So that was Copilot Kit. Fantastic conversation. It was the one that I wanted to do yesterday, which we couldn't do. And hang on, somebody just went past. Okay, sorry, got distracted again. Yeah, that was really good. I think it was, what they're doing is very interesting. They seem to be in there with once you're in with Microsoft and Google, I think you're done. You just kind of, pretty much expect an acquisition anytime soon.
I think is a agent to agent. It's a similar pattern, but it's tried to be a pattern where agent can directly talk to each other by different kind of. It's been very popular. I think a lot of TUIs, the terminal-based UIs, and a lot of the code editors these days is using some sort of A2A agent as well.
Yes, yeah.
And I think it's nice to see that the open source GitHub Copilot is been following the same track. I think it's tend to see like where the I would definitely try to experiment more with that tooling and see what it's actually unpacked.
Yeah. So for the folks that weren't on the live stream yesterday, we are, as you can see from the sign here, we're at the Startup Alley. So there's a separate section of the event, which is mainly for startups. They have their own number of stages here, so the ignition stage, a number of others. Check out the details of all of that on the London Tech Week website, founder stage, some charities around here as well, and so on. So yeah, I just kind of want to just take the folks through. I know we covered this yesterday, but for those who can join us, just a quick view of this area as well.
Just a little interruption. Can you do a final round to check if Black Box AI is anybody listening?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I'm saying just do a final, your third trip to Black Box AI.
Oh yes, don't worry, I will get to them. Believe me, they're on my list. So let me just see who else. Let me just see who else I need to do.
My pick is N-Scale because I've seen they have very good large booths and a very catchy booth there. So N-Scale, if you spot them, keep far away you from N-Scale.
Yes, I will. Let me go and see if I can talk to the big guys because we have maybe a few of those that we want to do, and then head back to Black Box. And I think that's pretty much everybody we wanted to talk to. So let me see if I can. Yeah, let me see if I can actually do that. Just hold on. Just grabbing some items here. Tech. Okay, the next wave of. Let me show you this because this is interesting. So, brochure says the next wave of UK AI. So that's interesting. There's conversations going on in there. I don't know what's that all about. I think it's part of the ignition stage, which is where I am at the moment. So I'll grab that if I can before it disappears. Let me just see if I can do that. If you have a couple of other news items, Saim, just please read those out. I think there were some announcements of investments from the UK government that I highlighted for you. Can you find that? Just continue for a second and I'll be rejoining in a minute.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And I think there are some big numbers during the London Tech Week. And those numbers are the UKTN reporter that reported that the UK government is talking about here is unveiled more than 200 million pound in a new tech initiative to boost AI skills, with the announcement tied to the AI Adoption Summit and a London Tech Week. And the Business Cloud added that Tech Nation, the next wave of the UK AI, values the UK tech sector at 1.2 trillion pound and says UK AI startup raised more than 8.2 billion in VC funding in the first half of 2026. So those are very big number as well. And also I framed earlier that the Prime Minister of UK, Keir Starmer, opened London Tech Week 2026 and framed AI as a hopeful economic opportunity for the UK, while also stressing that tech companies must do more to protect users. He also announced a new AI job tool and committed over 400 million pound toward specialist AI chip for sovereign computing capabilities. So these are some news from the UK front as well. So these numbers are very huge in itself. More on the startup news item that fit that we covered here. The UKTN reported Searchable, on London AI performance marketing platform, and Growth Command Center, and Lock.ai, which is building off cloud AI infrastructure for SaaS desktop AI teams. It also covered PhysicsX, which raised $300 million and 225 million pound for its AI native engineering platform aimed at industrial and manufacturing productivity. The strongest story we covered yesterday from day one is that London Tech Week is moving from just a tech show. It's increasingly adding value for the AI infrastructures, startup scaling, and policy event. So I think if you want to be a part of next time for this event, you should be there as well. So I think you already see how much of the great companies have already been involved in. Richard, I'm back to you again.
Yes, indeed. So I'm just leaving the Startup Alley area.
Okay.
Goodbye, Startup Alley. I'm going to head to Black Box. And if we don't have any luck there, then I will head to the bigger players here that we have, the likes of Nscale, maybe AMD if they're willing to talk to us. And yeah, let's see what we can find out. So I'm going to just use HubSpot again as my home location. Because I can find everybody. If I can find the HubSpot, I can find everybody else. That's actually worked a treat. I have to remember that trick for next time. Pick one stand and then use that as your home location. So heading towards HubSpot, I can see Nscale, AWS, AMD. Let me see what I can find. HubSpot was here. I'm sure that's where I left it. And then we're going to head down. I know so they're kind of towards the back of the event area, so the showcase area, I should say. So let me see if I can do that. So yeah, there's Nscale and AMD. See them there. And head down this way. Okay, I can see HubSpot. I know where I am. So let me see if I can walk down here. Oh, somebody's selling some jelly things. Are you interested in any jelly beans and things like that, Saim? Look at that. A whole pot of those. Okay, so I'm just heading down.
You finally see the facts. Facts are here, but they're tougher to find.
There's not enough of it. We complained about it in the review with Noah. There's just not enough of it in the show, I'm afraid. It's been quite disappointing. I think they need to up their game when it comes to swag. So, yeah. Okay, so there's Prolifics. If I take a guest turn, I think it's on my right. Somebody is back at Black Box. Okay. So let me see if I can have a conversation with somebody here. It looks like we've got a couple of folks on the stand. So let me just bear with me for a second.
Okay, Richard, absolutely. I will head back to you again. I think one of the things that's really interesting in this age of AI agentic world is that a lot of these tooling is actually being a lot of the agent is now being running it in a proliferation mode, and somebody need to actually take a look at it. Who actually initiated the agent? What permission it has? What sort of input and output is being taking? So I think the agent orchestration is a layer that has been actually trying to solve this problem, and that's why we're actually trying to find out what the black box AI has been doing in this space as well.
Let me see if I can get a decision from Blackbox.
Okay, Richard, no worries. I will be waiting for you.
They're not available right now, unfortunately. So we're going to move on, Saim.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah. Some people think they're made of gold or something. So whatever. Okay. I don't know how you can turn down some free marketing, but there you go. So listen, I'm going to head down to the bigger players. So let's see if we can get something from N-Scale, and then perhaps I don't know who else was it? AMD. Yeah, AMD was interesting. So we might have a chat with AMD. Where's Intel? Shouldn't Intel be here as well? Why is only AMD turning up with these things? Let me ask the lovely ladies at the desk here, at the AMD stand. Let me see if I can ask the ladies if somebody would be interested in doing a quick talk. Hold on, please. Get this, Saim. AMD, I need to write to them to get permission to do an interview.
Okay.
I can't believe that. This is not the 1980s. This
Yes,
is the
absolutely.
2020 whatever. I can't believe it. I'm sorry, but the marketing is stuck in the 70s or something, or the 80s. That's ridiculous.
I think
So,
there should be an agent for them. There should be.
yeah, I asked them to feed it back to their marketing team and said, can you please accelerate yourselves up to the 2020s, because today we just rock up to people and just do an interview. I don't need to write a letter and get permission and get it signed in triplicate and give a blood sample and what have you. So there you go. All right, so who else is on our list? AWS. Let me see if anybody at AWS is going to be willing to have a conversation. Actually, let me ask one of the ladies here. Hold on a second again. Well, unfortunately, we got more bad news. However, I can show you a robot. Is a robot is waving. I don't know if he shakes hands or anything. Is he going to shake my hand? Shake hands?
No.
He's not going to shake my hand. He's going to shake. Put it on full screen, please. Oh, he's going to shake hand. There we go. Look, he's shaking my hand. Look at that. He shook my hand. Well done. Excellent. Are you going to shake somebody else's hand? There we go. Oh, he's doing some clapping or something. There we go. Almost. Oh, there, yeah. It's a shake of hands. Okay. Don't clutch the arm. Yeah. There we go. Excellent. Okay, he's working. So that's good. So we bring you everything here: AI, robotics, interviews. Lots of people saying no. It's all on this live stream. You get everything on this live stream. There you go. So that was interesting as well. All right. So I think I'm kind of pretty much there with all the major ones. I think everybody else has said no on the live stream saying. So we're going to kind of randomly just walk around a little bit, maybe gather our final thoughts on the live stream. We're kind of getting there. I think people are getting tired now. Can't believe they're doing this for 3 days. So
absolutely, I think if you actually let's say if you going by from service, if you're actually walking down the floor and you actually see the service now, then
I did ask ServiceNow, but I think I got a similar response yesterday because I went to see them because I had a specific question I wanted to ask them. And yeah, the response was not very favorable because I did say, look, I'm live streaming tomorrow for today, day 2, and would you guys be up for like a conversation, like kind of saying, oh, I need, marketing permission, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it was a bit difficult to do that. So, okay, hang on. Got a company here called Telnix. They're talking about infrastructure for real-time agents. I wonder if anybody here will be up for interview. They're all sitting down. There's nobody kind of doing anything. So I wonder if they'll be up for a quick interview. Let me see if we're going to get a final yes or no, Saim. Hold on. Somebody said yes. Excellent. All right. So, Riley, quick intro to yourself first, please, and then to tell next what you guys do, etc.
Yeah. So originally from the U.S., been a part of Telnix now for about 2 years. I'm a senior business development representative here. In terms of Telnix, we originally were founded in 2009, I believe. We're originally a telco company, in the likes of Twilio, if you know them. We started to move towards voice AI agents to handle inbound and outbound calling, conversational AI. But yeah, I mean, typical use case for that right now is, customer service or lead generation, whatever you might be looking for. But yeah.
Excellent. So you guys are kind of talking about real-time agents and things like that. Are you getting a lot of that sort of request from customers, maybe at the show? People kind of been talking to you about that?
Yeah, I'd say in the past 6 months, we've seen a lot of traction with that. I'd say about 6 months ago, it was kind of your traditional telco conversations, SMS, calling, voice API. But it's definitely moved towards conversational AI for sure. Yeah.
Right. And where do you guys come in? Is it kind of at that sort of infrastructure layer? Do you actually offer the infrastructure yourselves, or is it something that you kind of build anywhere that the customer wants it?
So we own the infrastructure for ourselves, and then we kind of give the companies the Lego pieces to build out what they want, right? So we have the GPUs, we have the telco, we have everything that they might want, and then they take all those pieces and kind of build a conversational AI agent for what they're looking for.
Right. And so is there like services from Telnix that offer to kind of, help the customer build that up, or is it kind of expected that you kind of give the bare metal and they just get on with the project?
A bit of both, right? So, I mean, depending on the size of the opportunity, companies are willing to do whatever they want, but we are a completely self-service platform. So anybody can sign up today. They might just have to fill out some information about the company, what they want to send in terms of traffic. But yeah, I mean, a little bit of both, like if they want to build it themselves, feel free. But we're also happy to help as well.
Sure. We're seeing a lot of sort of conversations around sort of inference, and we're kind of in the age of inference now and so on. Are you seeing a lot from customers around that? Do they kind of want to do more stuff in production now versus training the models?
Yeah, I'd say in terms of my conversations, inference is pretty new. I also think people are just starting to realize that we're kind of in that game as well, as they kind of only know the main models. So a little bit of both, yeah. I mean, I think that's where these conversations will be going, as everybody's just trying to get as much as they can. So yeah.
Fantastic. Right. Thanks very much for your time. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good to meet you.
Thank you. Excellent. So that was Telnix. They were actually on our list, Saim, but I didn't know if we were going to have enough time to talk to them. I'm just at the N-Scale stand here. Looks like they're kind of packing up. So I think we've missed them again, unfortunately. So we're not going to get a chance to maybe speak to them now. But yeah, we'll certainly maybe try and catch them at the next event. They'll be around some of these data center ones. There's nobody here. They've got a nice booth and so on, but I think they're kind of packing up again. Which is a bit of a surprise because there's still 35 minutes to go, or 25 minutes, I should say, to go. Some people are giving up on here and walking away a little bit too early. But there you go.
You have only 20 minutes actually, because
yes,
they have been.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I'm going to head upstairs to kind of finish off, I think, Saim. We've pretty much done all the ones that we wanted on our list, on our wish list of interviews. We've done quite a few today and yesterday, which was good. We've learned a lot about the show itself. We learned a lot about the types of solutions we can expect here. We've learned a lot about... oh, I got to grab a couple of these for my kids. Hold on. I don't know what's in these, but I hope it's nice and disgusting for them to have. So where is it? Oh, there we go. I've grabbed a couple of those for the kids. Okay. Yeah. So as I was saying, it's kind of, look, everything's kind of, so forget about AI. Yeah, your data is, if your data is dodgy, then you're in trouble. I agree with that. There's a lot on this particular stand. Integrilla. Yes, I got that right. There you go. So, there is a lot of that kind of expectation, I think, from these sorts of platforms in terms of what they're offering. But I think, like as I said earlier, there's a lot of sort of sales-oriented CRM. You can see HubSpot here, very much front and center of the event. They're kind of in that CRM sales space, type of thing. Not our average sort of company. I noticed that Notion was here. I think I pointed them out yesterday. They're here as well, and a number of others are here as well. And as we said, it's a different type of event, really. It's a lot broader and a lot more for the people who actually, make decisions. So let me just head up to this Stairway to Heaven. Well, Stairway to the AI arena, anyway. Almost heaven. So let me just, I'm just being a bit facetious.
We'll do a trivia here. Like, guys, you can actually tell us on the comment section how many steps they should have taken during the day.
They can. I tell you what don't folks guess? If anybody's online with us, let them guess. Or they can put it in the comments later, and maybe I can give them an idea. So, okay. All right. So, final big view. Let's show that. Put me on full screen, please, Saim.
Oh, yes.
Saim finds the button. There we go. This is now empty for today. But that's the big view of Olympia and London Tech Week. Let me park up here. You can start a little recap, maybe, Saim. Just bear with me while I set myself up.
Okay, sure, Richard. It's been a very wonderful building. I really love the vibe of Olympia. I think the building is really, really resonating. It's a very nice building to be in there as well. And I think, as Richard was tolding, this is one of sort of the event where actually a lot of the decision maker has been involved. So I think in terms of, if you look at, if you enjoy the stream today, I think next time, if you're running a company, if you have some solutions, you have some services to sell to the rest of the world, I think this is the go-to event for you for the next time as well. I think it's been some, it has great vibes, and it's also been, we have happened to have 10 booth interviews from this event. That's great. And I really like about some of the solutions like iris.ai, also the lock.ai. I personally feel it's a missing piece in the industry right now, and luckily they turned up for this. They have been trying out some solution, so it's great. And also there's one other solution. I'm actually missing some names. So there have been some very good agentic toolkit for them. A GitHub Copilot toolkit is another very good open source tool to stay engaged with as well. So Richard, I'm back to you. You are on the screen now. I want to.
Yeah, you're right. You spotted something which you just said, Saim, which is the kind of agent or AI agent tool kits, and that's
Yes.
exactly what we're kind of seeing. We saw a few kind of vendors, in that space offering that kind of capability. Maybe a different sort of starting points. Maybe one that allows you to build them, one that allows you to run existing ones, and certainly you can run AI agents within existing platforms. So we don't have to have them here. We don't have to talk to them. We know the likes of Dynatrace and all these other types of vendors already offer you agents within their platforms. So that agent augmentation, I think, running it within the existing platform is definitely real. And I think that's actually a sensible place to start with agents. Don't run let agents run around. Don't implement something in production you don't know what it's going to do, because they're non-deterministic. That's the thing to remember about AI agents. They kind of make their own decisions, and we've seen some howlers and disasters when that's actually happened in the past. So definitely, as part of the platform that you may have already, or like a ServiceNow or the Dynatrace or whatever type of thing, or some of these ones that we've interviewed today and yesterday, I think that's really kind of where AI agents should really start life. That's where they kind of really start. Although, as you saw today, there's some people just saying, yeah, just come and build your own agent and run it in production. And you can make a agent for marketing, you can make an agent for legal, you can make an agent for finance, IT, etc. So it's not just limited to IT folks, but it's also available for other people within the organization as well. So there's other teams, other departments as well.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that one of the script automation, I really like their approach. It's been some, they say like one of the things we actually been covering in the future episodes is agentic AI observability. And I think the script automation is one of those tools that really help you exceed with your compliant ladder. We have so many requirements and pre-flight checks before you taking any sort of first customer to back up. So script automation, I found it a really interesting element that week as well.
And like we said, we've kind of learned a lot from, I think, this particular event. We're seeing that in this space that you and I are maybe used to every day, there's a lot more focus on kind of the technology and the underlying sort of what's under the bonnet of the hood, as the Americans would say. What's kind of under the bonnet of the car? What's the engine look like? What's the tech specs of the engine, of the car, and so on. Whereas actually here it's just saying, look, it's a car, it's shiny, it costs this much, it's got these features. Are you ready to go? Would you like to buy it? So it's kind of selling the actual solution, selling the product, versus selling the technology, and I don't know, talking about sort of open sourcing it to, donating an open source project and things like that. So it's a lot more around sort of sales and decision making. Like I said, decision makers, I think is this is very much for them. But I also saw quite a lot of people yesterday that were talking about learning about AI as well.
I think the one thing I really people I would like to ask you a question when you do a recap for the event is that what do you think what sort of people will the company should send for this event? Like what sort of people? Is the sales people do you recommend or because I don't think so that more techie people are for this event. It's like a business leader, the people who's the CTO type role. I think those are the people who can actually attend this event from their organization perspective.
I think I don't probably need to tell people necessarily what. I'm sure they can work it out, and London Tech Week probably knows that already, kind of who they're aiming it at. But it's certainly not kind of for techies. It's, as I was saying with Noah in the review, it's not kind of for DevOps engineers and platform engineers and developers and cloud architects and what have you. I mean, yeah, there's some solutions here, but if you really kind of want that and you're sort of hardcore into that, then just go to KubeCon or AWS Summit or pick up one of those types of events or one of the open source summits. And there's lots of meetups around London that do that anyway. If you really want to do that, just go to the London meetups. There's like beers and pizza available for free and all of those. Just sign up to them and go to them. That's kind of really where you'd find that sort of more specific focus, laser focused on either one topic or a particular kind of discipline, a particular kind of area. This is really more, as I said, for kind of people who are looking for solutions, people who make the decisions, the decision makers within organizations. So maybe the CIO, maybe the CFO, maybe the head of HR or something like that, and the CAIO as well. Yeah, the CAIO as well, the actual chief AI officer as well. They can certainly find a lot of those solutions here because there's plenty about, as we said, agents. There's plenty about governance. There's plenty about sovereignty. There's plenty about data, how you prepare your data, things like that.
Oh, absolutely, typically 100%. And I think like in terms of the vibe in itself, I think I really like the building, the place the event has been held. There are some very good designs there. I really like I particularly like the end scale booth is very wonderful. Delight, HubSpot, their booth is very great. Very luxurious booth out there. There are some cars spotting yesterday. There are some traditional UK phone booths. And I think there's a very London vibe. When you come into this event, you actually get to know the city, the tradition, and some of the spectacle. That's a great. But you haven't spotted any food. Like, I'll ask any questions from there, like what the food is all about for this event as well. We haven't found out any track there. If you can, I think grab some free drinks somewhere while you actually being in that is missing. And in the KubeCon and we see some of the games being happening while the event being showcasing live. I think in KubeCon we saw people playing football and tennis, and in the AWS Summit London, there's some car racing going on, and I think you see yesterday here is the Tech London Week as well. So it's a tech event with fun, with some of the rides, some of the business conversation. So I think it's covered a very good spectrum there. So I think if some people are listening to us, I would encourage them, if you wanted to be a part of this event, I think this holds a very great information about your product and the things you wanted to research on. It's a good place to be in.
I agree with that. I think, like I said, it's a different audience, which is fair enough. It's not necessarily something that we can focus on kind of all the time. Maybe, occasionally we can kind of drop in to see what the status is around this, what are some of the discussions, and indeed some of the actual solutions that are now sort of available in production as well. But yeah, it's not our sort of average everyday conference, but that's fair enough. Like I said, it's got a different audience here, and like I said, the nice thing that I found about it is that you can actually buy the products down there, which is really good. It's not like an open source project, or somebody say, oh yeah, there's an enterprise version, but let me talk to you about the text and specs and why we're doing Kubernetes this way, or why we're doing Docker that way, or something like that. It's actually, nobody's talked about tech here unless we've insisted on it and said, yeah, but where are you installed? Oh, it's a SaaS solution. Okay, I don't have to worry about it. So yeah, I think it's kind of got its own audience. I think what I'd like to maybe do next time is actually sit in a little bit more on the talks, because that's a really good idea. Kind of pick up a little bit more of the atmosphere of the conversation. Obviously, we've not been able to do that with the, various other commitments during the day as well. And obviously, doing the live streams, it's just not been possible to do that. But I think maybe next time I'll try and maybe hopefully do that, and actually not necessarily do the kind of the usual coverage. Maybe we'll look at for a different type of coverage or different format for the coverage. But certainly, yeah, it's been an eye-opener, interesting stuff that's been happening. And then we'll see how things go in the future. I've got another event to cover, again back here at Olympia. I don't know how they're going to do it with this still running for one more day, because they're starting tomorrow. So that's going to be interesting. I think that's probably a different hall. So I'll try and figure that out and attend that. That's called the Hardware Pioneers Max show. So I'm covering that, but that's going to be an offline thing. So maybe do some interviews there if the things are interesting. Maybe we'll see those on the channel if they're relevant. But otherwise, it's kind of again first time to see what that event is like.
Oh, absolutely. And once again, Richard, it's your time to give a little bit of a recap, just a few words. And once again, thank you very much for actually taking your time out and doing it for the very first time for this event. And I think we will definitely try to see in the future what we can bring this to our audience in the near future as well. Luckily, I think we did 10 to 12 interviews today from the booth. That's great. Some very good conversations. These are the conversation is a confirmation to some of the content we put on YouTube channels, like the content with generative AI, platform engineering, the Go to Culture series. All of these debates we have been doing on these YouTube channels, this is really the confirmation here that the companies are really paying attention to this topic, and they're building some cool projects and solutions for those projects. So it's mean our audience is pretty much in safe hands, as we are covering very in-depth things, or like some of the strategic conversation towards them just very far away, and you are the one who carrying the camera and the mic and the conversation. So it's difficult all the time. Every time it's difficult. It's take a lot of energy and the bandwidth, but still we are doing this. So Richard, you deserve a lot of appreciation from the rest of the world.
An interesting show, like I said. I've actually picked up quite a few contacts for my daytime job as well, which is good. So I've done a bit of research for myself, which was good. I had a couple of hours today to catch a couple of the vendors that I wanted to speak to for my daytime job with T-Systems. So that was good. That was useful. So kind of killing two birds with one stone, as they say. But yeah, no, I mean, it's been interesting. I'm not going to repeat again. Kind of, I think we've said it enough times in terms of what our perception has been of the event. I'd like to actually thank London Tech Week, the organisers, and the PR team, the PR company, for allowing me access to the event as part of the press. As we said yesterday, I actually attended as a press this time, which was fantastic. So yeah, I think it's been an overall positive sort of experience. A few things I think I'll probably feed back to the organisers in terms of kind of how it's shaped up and everything. But otherwise, it's been really good, eye opener. Good to see lots of AI solutions actually available for sale, not just talking tech specs and open source and cloud native. That's been, I think, the highlight for me, to actually see those solutions, in in the flesh, so to speak, and in production. Stuff you can buy today and start using it tomorrow, type of thing. I think that's kind of really been the main thing. Again, we understand about the audience being different. It's a lot broader approach. There's some hardcore, I think, people here like influencers and the kind of the decision makers, the deciders of the people who kind of make decisions about which platform to go for and things like that. I would like to remind people who are watching, whether you're watching this live or on a replay, please subscribe to the channels. Saim and I put a lot of effort into making these live streams happen. As you can see, we kind of sometimes try to get in as press to these events, to cover the events from an official sort of capacity. There's a lot of planning going on in the background, so we would really appreciate if you can hit that subscribe button on our channels. Please go and do that now as I'm talking. Ignore me and just go and do that. Because I think that's really, that's really useful for us. It helps us as YouTubers to continue live streaming and bringing you hopefully quality content. I believe, Saim, we covered everything that was said in the chat in terms of the people that wanted us to go and visit. So if we haven't covered them, apologies for that. We'll try and catch up with them maybe next time or at the next event. But I think that's it from me. Wish everybody a good day, and we'll catch you guys soon.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Cloud Native FM Cloud Therapist YouTube show. You're watching the exclusive coverage of London Tech Week 2026. Hope to meet you again in a near live stream, or might be a new episode, a new podcast, a new series. So stay tuned for these YouTube channels, because there's a lot of lovely content will be coming your way sooner rather than later. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye. Wow.